It's gotta be then.
What is going on, guys, and welcome yourselves back to the In Sync podcast, episode 2. So episode 1 aired Monday/Sunday night. We hope you enjoyed that. Give us feedback on what else to talk about, because we're not only going to talk about what we want to talk about. I mean, if you guys have suggestions, we are willing to, take them. Y'all seem to enjoy the last podcast. Got more views than we thought it would. And yeah, but podcasts are normally going to come out Thursday/Friday. So basically late Thursday/early Friday, around there. Saturdays and Sundays, 80% of the time the podcasts are not going to come out then. As well as we are going to be doing a second show, which is going to be Tuesday night/Monday morning, but basically Tuesday, kind of like 12 o'clock, stuff like that. So that's going to be like a shortened version of what this podcast is, and we're going to work that out. We'll talk about that more at the end of the show, likely. But today we're going to be talking about the VMA performances. Normani performed, and a lot of crap happened with that. There's a Senorita performance. Lil Nas X lip-synced his performance, and we're going to talk about just kind of what we feel about that, and showing proof that he did lip-sync. New song reviews. We had a bunch of songs that came out tonight. Sports with Lucas, a little news segment. We're going to talk about some football and basketball news that has happened over the week. And Taylor Swift remaking her music because her albums were bought by her former manager, and how she's kind of stuck with it and things like that. But Lucas, tell them what they should go follow.
They should go follow the In Sync podcast Instagram account, which should be in the description below.
Yes, it will be. We already have a little bit of followers, but on that we're going to be posting, clips of the podcast and little highlights of the podcast, so you kind of get a taste before you actually decide to look up our channel, because I know that's a lot of work. You kind of get a taste of what you're going to get. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. That'll be in the description, like he said. And yeah, let's get into our first topic. So like I said, the VMAs did happen a couple of days ago. And first, we're going to talk about how Lil Nas X lip-synced his performance and everyone else who did at the VMAs. So first, Lucas, tell me how you feel about people lip-syncing. Do you think it's acceptable, or do you think they should never lip-sync, or is there exceptions? Let me know what you think.
See, well, I don't understand why people lip-sync. I mean, there are some... maybe it's because, there's a really high note that someone can't hit at the moment. But if you can't hit that high note,
don't do it in the first place.
Try to transform that note. Make it a lower note. Don't it's better to sing a lower note than the lip sync, because it's fake.
Yeah.
It's not a total live performance. If you lip sync the whole thing, that's absolutely ridiculous. People wanted to come to watch your live performance.
Exactly.
Don't lip sync, because then people basically wasted their money.
Yeah, and if I may add...
I just want to see Lil Nas. I want to see him perform.
Yeah, if I may add, it's Lil Nas, actually, but if I may add...
Well, bro, okay, whatever.
If I may add, like you were saying last week with how they're probably going to lower the easier stuff rather than lip-syncing it. They should do something like that. The easier by 5 seconds of summer, you're saying how they should lower the... y'all know the really high part of the easier. But, well, here's the thing. Look, what if you're in a big arena and you're moving around and you're dancing all the time? You're going to be out of breath. What do you expect people to do?
Okay, well, at that time, his stuff is not hard.
Well, we ain't talking about Lil Nas specifically. We're talking in general, lip syncing.
Alright, so you need to, prepare your act. If you need to really think out what you're going to do at your concerts. What are you going to do at your concerts? You don't want to make things too difficult, because then that makes it easy for artists to just burn out. And after that, it's really it's really just an easy decision. You got to figure out: are you going to dance and sing, or are you just going to sing? It's what it is.
Okay, so I got a question for you. What's a good alternative of lip syncing? You already kind of said a little bit. But if you're not going to lip sync, but it's also hard to do something live, what's the alternative? Having a little bit of a background track, or lowering the notes? If we're talking about rap, you can't lower the notes. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. With rap, now I feel this is just my opinion. This is also probably a lot of other people's opinions. because people want to see them actually perform. But if people are like, if those rappers have lip sync tracks going on in the background, so there are some great rappers that, have very, very, very cool parts, or very fast parts that require a really quick breath.
Breath control, bro. You need breath control. That's what Lil Nas X needs.
Yes.
But so, okay, here's another question. And I'll kind of go with this. And I agree with what he's saying. I mean, look, if you're rapping and you can't rap a part, then have some background tracks so you can get a quick breath. And if you're singing, possibly the same thing / lower your notes or higher your notes or things like that. But how to tell, you guys want to know how we tell, and just how to tell if people are lip syncing so you aren't misled in thinking that they can actually sing that well live. Now, some people can, but how to tell, really, it's this simple. And we're going to show a clip of Lil Nas X doing it in a second. But go on YouTube or your editor or whatever, slow it down to 0.25 speed or 0.5 or any of the lower speeds. And then obviously watch if their lips match up with what you're hearing. And if they don't, they're lip syncing. That's that simple. But let me show you that Lil Nas X did in fact lip sync at the VMA performances. But let me I don't know for sure. I'm not condemning him. So, that was insane. I think he could have maybe danced a little less and it would have been better. But, okay, you watched his performance, right? But, going off the lip syncing, right? His dancing to me was really, 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 really weird and really cringy. Do you agree or no?
Well, for one, I don't really like Panini that much, but going on his dancing and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really. No, it kind of made me.
It was weird, dude. He was doing the shoot and all of that, but people who didn't lip sync and didn't dance really bad was Normani. She did a performance, but it was basically messed up by the audio people. So, thoughts about that is like, get your audio technicians right. Yeah. But Sean and Camille. What?
Know who to hire.
Yeah, exactly. Sean and Camila Cabello also performed Senorita. What do you think about that?
Okay, there are so many mess ups there. Now, it was almost like Camila was intoxicated a little bit. She
was trying to flirt with him.
Well, okay. They both had some very cool runs, very cool vocal parts in there. But the opening note was a voice crack from Camila.
I know. You think that was on purpose?
No, it's not gonna voice crack on purpose.
Yo, I just want to add. You could tell Sean was nervous. I just want to add that.
Yeah, it's the VMAs. It's on MTV.
Oh, I'm sure you and me would mess up if we did that.
Oh, yeah. It's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
This was very... Now, this was also an act because, they have a relationship going on, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of So, I feel like they did that because of the relationship, and also the song is about romance.
You mean how they were, all over each other and all that?
Yeah. But,
Yeah, that was low-key weird, but, I think they do have good chemistry. I think they had pretty good chemistry.
But then at the very near end of the song, they both started out at different keys and then just jumped back. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I'm just like... Oh.
You see when they were, touching noses?
It's not the best performance from Camila. She's a very, very good performer, and so is Shawn Mendes. But this was not one of their best performances. I
agree, but here's what I'll give them. At least they did lip sync. You know what I mean? I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Did you see when they
the talent there?
Yeah, you're right. Did you see when they touched noses?
Yeah, that was cute.
It was low-key cute, low-key kind of cringy. Guys, Taylor Swift performed as well. Okay, well, hold on. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay, all right. Taylor Swift performed as well. Lucas, what did you think about Taylor Swift's performance? Lover and You Need to Calm Down.
Alright, so You Need to Calm Down is not really, if you are a tenor, or even really a second tenor, that song, if you're just it's really a low song for a tenor or an
You're
alto.
right. Yeah.
It's really not that high of a song, so I feel like it's an easier performance. I mean, so she nailed every note in that song. She did an absolute great job in that song. And then Wlrd was she has a unique falsetto. And that's
I'm be honest, look, I did like that. I did like those performances, and it sounds like you did too.
So You Need to Calm Down it's a very easy song to sing. Really, it really is. But like, unless you're doing the uh-ohs in there and you keep going up. And Wlrd was a pretty cool song. She has a very unique falsetto in that. And overall, she did a very good job. Very good job.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, and I'm starting to actually enjoy part of her songs on the album, so I thought that was a great performance. Now let's get into the song reviews. Alright guys, so tonight we are going to be reacting to Circles by Post Malone off of his new album, which is going to be coming out next week. We're going to be doing a reaction to that. But enough with the rambling. Also going to be doing Juice WRLD Graduation feat. Benny Blanco, or Benny Blanco Graduation feat. Juice WRLD, and Shots by Lil Tecca off of his new album. We're not going to be reacting to the whole entire album, but if you want us to, let us know in the comments, and we can probably work that out. There's other songs that have come out this week, but for now, we have decided to react to those three. Okay, so Luke, are you pretty excited for Post Malone song? I know you're not a huge Post Malone fan, but for the song at least, are you pretty excited?
Well, yeah, because I don't really know a whole lot about him. Haven't really dug into his music a lot, so I'm pretty excited for what I'm gonna hear.
Yeah, and then Juice WRLD, the Juice WRLD song So as well.
Yeah, I like Lucid Dreams. And I'm pretty excited to hear that.
And he's actually never heard Lil Tecca, so this will be new. But first off, I'm gonna save Circles for last because I'm most excited for that. We're gonna start off with Juice WRLD Graduation with Benny Blanco. Here we go. Song hasn't started. Thoughts are ready. This sounds like a super vibey song to me. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Oh. Okay, so I'm not going to pause it a lot, guys. Don't worry, but I just want your thoughts so far. So far, I think this is going to be a really good song.
So, I mean, it's not original. I've heard stuff like this before.
Oh, come on, but it sounds catchy as crap, bro.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not saying it's not Sean, but, like, I've heard stuff like this before.
Yeah.
But so far, I feel like he could be on, like, in the movie Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes, you're right. Spent together. Okay, so quick thoughts. Obviously, this is my first reaction, so I might hate it, might like it eventually. Same goes with Lucas, but first, just quick thoughts. I think it's definitely decently generic. Hook's decently generic, but I think the lyrics are super cool and definitely very different for Juice WRLD to be reminiscing on the past like that, and no mention of a girl or anything like that. Quick thoughts for you, Lucas?
It doesn't really grab me that much. I feel like it could be like I said, a soundtrack on like.
Yeah, I liked what it was saying though about how life. There's still drama, so all that crap. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it does seem a little bit unlike Juice WRLD.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, boys, now we're gonna be listening to Shots by Lil Tecca. Here we go. Beat very generic, but at the same time a little different. Trash. Okay, now we're gonna be listening to Circles by Post Malone. I've been talking a bit, and y'all know my opinion, but Lucas, how about you shed a little bit light on what you think first listen about that song?
So, very catchy song already. I like the production, I like the harmonies, really the whole instrumental was cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got a good message. Run away. Okay, run away would more normally mean, okay, goodbye to this situation. Goodbye, girl. But we're running in circles. Like, yo, run away, but we're running. See, it'd be different if he just went, run away, but we're running in circles. But he went, run away, but we're running in circles. Obviously, I can't do it as well, but you get that's. I love it when he goes, with the mix with the production. Beat maybe could have. The beat wasn't amazing, but the beat wasn't trash. The song together was great.
I feel like it was really the production that was
the
key thing here.
And it might sound different on my speaker or on my system or something else. But any final thoughts?
Not really. No. I mean, it's good Post Malone. I feel like this will get quality views on YouTube.
Oh yeah, bro.
Good tabs.
YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, off it. This thing's gonna blow up. So
yeah, and one thing I noticed, I searched it up on YouTube. It's like, so many other people have uploaded it. Like,
so
did the song come out before?
So here's what happened. He posted a 30-minute snippet on his channel. That's one of the little leaks or whatever. But he also did it live. He did a live version. So technically, I've heard this song before, but the reason I'm so exclamatory about it is because number one, I liked it to begin with. Number two, I listened to it live once. Number three, it's the whole recording, whatever. And number four, when it's live, you don't hear all of the intricate stuff. I kind of knew what the chorus was, but the verse and the bridge I didn't remember or recall at all. So that's kind of what's up. But yeah. And now on to our next topic. Okay, moving on to our third topic, we're going to have a little quick break, and we're going to talk about some sports and news that's been going on in football and basketball with Lucas. And then to wrap it up, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift remaking her music because her albums were bought and all that stuff. So, Lucas, what's been going on in basketball?
So, when you really look at it, there's been a lot going on in the offseason. We've had Kawhi's decision to join the Clippers, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both joining the Nets, and Carmelo not getting picked up. Now, we've seen some very surprising things in the NBA. Kawhi has totally baited the Lakers and has made them wait so that they can not take any free agents, just to risk their decision on signing Kawhi Leonard. Now, this was a big mistake for the Lakers. Even though Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 player in the NBA, he is a top 5 player in the NBA. He's an unbelievable defensive player and a great scorer on the court. Even though he's one of the best players, I think they should have passed on him because he took way too much time. They could have signed players like J.J. Redick, Kyle Korver, KD, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, even though he was already planned, LeBron never asked him to join to join the Lakers. But it's unbelievable what's going on here. So we have KD and Kyrie, which not next year because KD is injured, but in 2020 and the 2021 season, they could be the next best duo. But for now, there's not really a whole lot to talk about Kevin Durant because he's injured. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, he has been released by the Rockets. Could not work it out with the Thunder. Was a long-time Knick, but could not ever really get anything going to get a good championship run in. And didn't really work out with the Nuggets. He had an amazing career with the Nuggets. I think he should get a ring of honor with that. He did so much for the Nuggets. So he's at this point in his career where he's not getting picked up by anybody. Now, he has said openly that he will accept a lesser role in the NBA, and yet no one's picked him up yet. Now, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are apparently, according to Bleacher Report, trying to close in on a deal with Carmelo. Now, if Carmelo signs a 2-year deal and above, or just a 1-year deal, so he'll only play with Kyrie and Wlrd and all those other great players, it would be a legendary season because I believe, and you look at stats, Melo still puts up great stats.
Yeah.
Melo has had a huge impact on all of his teams. So you look at that, Kyrie and Carmelo would be the best duo, one of the best duos in the league. And when you have Durant back the very next year, that would probably be one of the best trios in the league, because there's no doubt all three of those guys are Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Unbelievable scorers, unbelievable ball handling. It's amazing. And right now, I just hope that he has a future in the NBA still, which I think he does. And that is one subject. So, another thing to talk about. The Lakers have had a very, very successful offseason, acquiring Danny Green, Avery Bradley, DeMarcus Cousins. Even though he injured himself, he is a force on the court. And now they have the newly acquired Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight Howard, a lot of people have said that he is washed up, and this has been on the news line for a long time, that he is just not the player he once was. And that may be true, but when you really look at his stats, he has not decreased a lot. He's not really decreased, even though he only played 9 games last year. I mean, he's still an unbelievable player. Now, you cannot just, pass on Dwight, because he is currently the leader in double-doubles. He has more double-doubles than anyone currently in the NBA. You could look that stat up, too. And he's unbelievable. An unbelievable player. So they've signed him now, and he's competing for the starting position over JaVale McGee as the starting center for the Lakers. Now, he is a big pickup. Surprised it wasn't picked up earlier. But now we will focus on the Lakers season. Now, acquiring Anthony Davis in one of the best and most entertaining blockbuster trades, that was the best blockbuster trade in my opinion. It was an unbelievable one, very entertaining. I know is they made a great decision in signing Dwight Howard. And now we will go to football. Now, the Patriots have been one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best team, for really the past decade. I mean, they've won multiple Super Bowls, 6 with Brady, and they've gone to 9 Super Bowls. Unbelievable. And Brady has led the way. Brady and Belichick have led the way for the Patriots. Now, they've had some great defensive pickups and offensive pickups. Starting with offense, Demaryius Thomas, unbelievable pickup. Great pickup. And Benjamin Watson, even though he's older in his career and is way past his prime, he is still a great pickup. And coming out of retirement, he's joining his former team, the Patriots. And they've picked up Jamie Collins on defense. And, they're doing so many great things. So many great things. Developing corners, they're really working with J.C. Jackson. And now you have Patrick Chung, one of their safeties, who's a real leader on their team. I believe that they will win another Super Bowl. And one of the last things we'll be talking about is Andrew Luck retiring. Now, he has been littered with injuries. He's had torn cartilage in two ribs. Oh, shoot. Andrew Luck has had torn cartilage in 2 ribs, partially torn abdomen, a lacerated kidney that left him peeing blood, at least 1 concussion, a torn labrum in his throwing shoulder, and this mysterious calf ankle issue that led to him retiring. Now, we don't know a whole lot about the calf and ankle injury, but we know that it's made him retire. It's led him to his decision to retire. Now, this leaves an open spot on starting quarterback position for Jacoby Brissett, the former backup for Luck and Tom Brady. Now, we've seen some very impressive showings really the past year and alongside Brady, and picking up for Brady after he was injured and Jimmy Garoppolo was injured in New England. So we look at that. He has a very, very bright future. In 2018, when Andrew Luck had that shoulder injury and it required surgery, he was put on IR, and he was out for the season. So when you look at that, his stats, just for a starting quarterback, were pretty decent. He threw for over 3,000 yards and had 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And a very versatile quarterback. He could run the ball. didn't post a faster 40-yard dash in the combine than Andrew Luck did, but he could still run. He's very athletic. Now we'll probably see a great outing out of him, and I mean that's all. That's all. So we'll see how all of that works out, and that's it for the sports section. Sean, back to you.
Okay, so Taylor Swift is remaking music because her albums were bought by her former manager, Scooter Braun, who she has problems with. So let's talk about that a little bit. So, okay, here's basically what happened. So Taylor Swift does not own the master recordings of her older albums now. She dropped 5 to 6 albums under the Big Machine record label, and basically what happened was her and her manager Scooter Braun had a bunch of falling out, and they, Scooter Braun is a huge manager. He's just huge. He's got a lot of money, all that stuff. Okay, so basically what happened is they had a big fall, right? And they just weren't talking and all that stuff for a while. Like, they're not on good terms, okay? So what happens recently, a couple of days ago, is her label, which she's not a part of now, like, she owns the masters of her recent albums, but her label sells her old stuff to her former manager. And out of spite, and because she's super sassy, and just because she wants to own it and have control of it, she is remaking all of her, well, we don't obviously know for sure 100%, but she's very likely going to remake all of her old songs, and basically they're all probably going to go viral again. It's probably going to be a remastered version, a lot of work on her part, but then she'll own it, and the other stuff will be considered outdated, not as good, things like that. So let's talk for a second about, okay, labels can be good, we all know that. We're not knocking on labels, but labels can suck. Do you want to talk? Okay, everybody knows the pluses, right? You get free promote, or not free promote. Oh my gosh, not free promotion, but you get promotion, all that stuff, contacts with other artists. But let's just talk a little bit about how labels suck. Here's one reason. Here's one way they suck, Luke. You can't drop stuff whenever you want. Like you just can't. And at the end of the day, they decide the final when it comes out. You gotta play your album for the label, and they have to approve every single song, and they got to be super careful with that, which I get, but it still sucks. They take a cut of your stuff and all of that. So what's like one or two things about labels that you think maybe someone shouldn't join, and why Taylor Swift, if she hadn't, she'd be in a better position?
Now, I don't think that if she didn't have her record label sign her, I do not think she would be where she is now.
That's true.
Now, you really look at all these wants to be artists. Like, I'm not being mean. I'm not calling them wannabes. But every artist, every musical artist wants to make it in this world. And when you really look at it, it's kind of stupid that she wants to remake all of her albums that her former label gave. I mean, that's really stupid.
Really? I think it's great she's making her old stuff.
I mean, it's cool because it's kind of like, I mean, she's remaking her old stuff. But the reason behind it is...
Wait, but bro, hold on. Don't you think it's dumb that her label would sell it to the person who she probably dislikes the most in the world? And don't you think it's dumb labels, take your money and don't let her release her stuff? Like, don't you think that's low-key kind of dumb?
Well, I mean, she signed the contract. I mean, it's really a contract. You sign with the label.
Yeah.
You play with their terms.
You're right. Okay, so tell me, why don't you like her remaking her old stuff?
Now, it's really kind of like, I mean, there are little drama things that she loves. It seems like she loves drama.
You're right.
Put drama out there.
You're right.
Now, I mean, she attacks Trump at the
VMA speech.
VMAs, and you look at that, and she doesn't have enough. She doesn't really have anything to back that up. I mean, Trump is not anti-equality.
So you think her making her own music isn't out of passion? It's just out of spite.
Yeah. I mean, she's making it because she sold him to my old boss, so now I'm just mad. Now I'm in a pinch. So now I'm gonna make more albums. I'm like, okay.
You're right. So you don't like that she's doing it, but do you think it'll be cool that she's making her old songs again?
I mean, I like her music. I appreciate that she's making new music again, and as she's redoing her old stuff.
I
Now,
know.
I mean, I'm all for that because I've seen many bands redo their old stuff.
It could be
and
trash. Let's not forget, it could be trash.
It could be trash, but it also could be fire. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, personally, I think her motive is kind of dumb.
For sure.
But she also is standing up for herself. I mean, in a way, it is kind of because she said in an interview that her and the lead of the Big Machine label talked about it a lot of times about how she'd never want that to happen, and they did it. I just think that's kind of like, come on, you really had to do it, but you know why they did it? They got paid $100 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sean, once again, there are always two sides to every story. Now, her reliability isn't really strong with me. So, give the VMAs an example. So, you look at that, her speech was about the Equality Act, and they had over 500,000 signings. I love equality. We all love equality.
Oh, yeah.
We all want to be equal.
If you don't, then you're like a sociopath.
I know. But then after that, she goes and attacks our president.
Yes,
and says he's not about equality. Now, I mean...
She needs to talk to Steven Crowder, dude.
She really does. But she has no proof to back that up.
I know.
No proof at all. Because Trump is not... I mean, unless you're reading fake news and then you just believe everything fake news tells you. But this is really one of the only times I'll ever get into politics here.
I think we all, you and me at least, like Taylor Swift for those light love songs that kind of, like give you like a nostalgic feeling. I don't get why she needs the need to be so like harsh, I guess. And look,
Exactly.
I thought if she was remaking her music, because it's like, oh, I want to remake my music. It's like 100% Taylor Swift, do that. But for this reason, it's kind of like eh. But my thing is, I'm still excited for her to to remake her old music. But I mean, final thoughts. I mean, basically, if the motive was better, maybe it'd be a little different. But at the same time, two sides of the story. So she might be being petty, but he might have also been a huge jerk. And if he did, and she had conversations with the head of the label on how they wouldn't ever do this, then it's kind of like they are stabbing her in the back a little bit. I mean, a little bit. Whether she's in the wrong and then. Whether she's in the wrong or not, or Scooter Braun, her former manager, is, the label did kind of stab her in the back a little bit for $100, but it's $100 million, bro. It's $100 million. At the same time, it's like whatever. But thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think down below. Give us feedback, please, because I mean, it's not like we want these podcasts to get worse. We want to get better. So if you hate the segment with Lucas about sports, let us know. But if you love it, if you want it longer, if you want the whole podcast to be about that, which it won't be. But point is, if you want more, if you like that, let us know. Let us know what you thought about our topics. Should we get different topics or better topics or whatever? Check out the Instagram in the link below. If they want to check it out on Instagram, what do they look up, Lucas?
They look up the NSYNC podcast.
It's literally that easy.
It's that easy.
It's
can just click the link below.
Yeah, and if you want to check out Lucas's channel, link below as well. Link below to our last podcast if you're new. Let us know. Do you think Lil Nas lip sync? Definitely let us know about Taylor Swift remaking her albums. What do you think about that? What do you think about the new songs that came out this week? What do you think about the VMA stuff? And final thing, we will be having a second show / podcast Tuesday / Wednesday coming up, but pretty likely Tuesday. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a little more short, condensed, highlighted version of this podcast. It's going to be more of a show than a podcast. So, hope you enjoy. Anything else you got to say, bro?
No.
Yeah, we will see you guys later. Thank you for watching the NSYNC podcast, and goodbye.
Hey, it's gotta be that.